Kaiju fans, welcome to the Kaiju Rundown. It's your host, Vinny Deluxe, alongside referee, you call that a knife, Dundee. Dundee, how are you feeling tonight?
Holy Mammoth Jr., you have no idea. Or at least these people have no idea what they missed if they were not here in beautiful downtown Montague, Massachusetts.
That is right. If you were not here in Montague, Massachusetts, it means you were not here for RPM Fest, the premier outdoor heavy metal festival. 3 days of all sorts of bands. Dundee, you've been here for a little bit so far. How has it been? How has the environment, the atmosphere of this amazing festival been for you?
There has been nothing more brutal than the acts we have seen today, and what Kaiju Big Battle and their monsters brought. Oh my God, people are gonna go home knowing monsters are real.
A great feeling in the air right now, and of course, night 2 ending with none other than Kaiju Big Battle. How are you feeling after such an amazing night?
I've been officiating monster fights for the better part of 10 years, Vinny Deluxe, and I have never seen what I've seen tonight.
I will say it has been insane. It has been wild. And of course, we kick things off with Hell Monkey versus Kung Fu Chicken Noodle Soup. Hell Monkey coming in, causing a scene before we can even begin officially. Kung Fu coming out, and the action was fast-paced, was quick. It got the crowd hot. What do you think of the Kung Fu versus Hell Monkey match?
Look, I just can't believe that once again, someone tried to can open the Kung Fu Chicken Noodle Soup. Luckily, justice prevailed. Hell Monkey wasn't able to open them up.
No, you love to see it because Kung Fu coming out, might makes right, and there is none mightier than Kung Fu Chicken Noodle Soup getting that win in the early going. Of course, with Hell Monkey's loss, brings out none other than the evil, the awful, the maniacal Dr. Cube coming in to cause a scene, to just generally piss off the fans here at RPM Fest with Doobie Brothers?
Naturally, metal fans are the ultimate heel. I can't believe that Dr. Cube was able to create an even more heelish attraction. Really overshadowed what was going on today. That Doobie Brothers, man, there's a time and a place, man.
He ends up announcing that he wants to take on Steam Powered Tentacle Boulder for the Kaiju Grand Championship. Whether or not Steam Powered was going to accept, we will see later. Of course, this brings into our next fighto, Monger King versus Pedro Plantain. I mean, I have to ask, how do you think Pedro is going to be able to fare against Monger King? Pedro, normally a tag team expert with his brother. Monger King, experienced as a singles competitor. How did you think that was going to happen versus what went down?
Look, I've been here all day. I had no idea that the Plantain was even in the building. Once I heard that familiar music and we all started dancing around, I knew that he was up for the task.
It was looking good. It was looking great. Pedro getting some offense in. Of course, Monger King did get the upper hand, no pun intended, taking advantage in the rare win for Dr. Cube's posse.
Monger King is just way too big for that poor little Plantain.
That's an easy way to make Mofungo right then and there with a hand that big. Next up, of course, we had Bear Ranger versus Power Rangeroo. Two premier female competitors going head-to-head. Bear Ranger being on the Dr. Cube side after some brainwashing there. Of course, Burger Bear coming out to try to help his friend Power Rangeroo against his former best friend, Bear Ranger.
Look, the very first Ghost Grand Champion of Kaiju Big Battle. Way you can think that she's not going to have this one in the bag.
Bear Ranger taking advantage of the chaos, of the Michigas going on, and getting another win here at RPM Fest. It was heartbreaking, tough to see a loss for Power Rangeroo, everyone's favorite Power Rangeroo here.
I just want to know how Bear Ranger was able to hold that hammer. Makes no sense to me.
Absolutely wild. Remains to be seen whether she is truly worthy of that hammer, simply as Power Rangeroo normally is. Of course, this brings us to a lovely intermission with our sing-along with Dundee. Not a Kaiju Big Battle. It is not a proper party without a sing-along with the man himself. A couple of Q posse wins. It's good to lift the spirits of RPM Fest. And of course, to lift things further, we had Steam Powered Tentacle Boulder, our Kaiju Grand Champion, making his way out to go ahead and accept the challenge made by Dr. Cube earlier, promising a Grand Champion match that night. Belt on the line. Cube for Steam Powered Tentacle Boulder.
The only real Kaiju that's meant to be here. He loves to rock and baby he can roll.
Absolutely. truly appropriate for the events happening. Of course, before we got into that, we had back from intermission, Arabus versus Dusto Bunny, everyone's favorite, a long-standing love of the people of the Kaiju universe. Dusto Bunny taking on the spiky menace that is Arabus.
Dusto Bunny hopping down that trail, trying to break that losing streak that he's been on lately. But Arabus was just way too much. The spiky back and all. That was like a turtle, if you ask me. The tortoise and the hare.
And its tale as old as time, but a tale belonging to Arabus, picking up the win and getting one over on Dusto Bunny. Of course, that leads to Dr. Cube coming back out with his entire posse, minions in tow, Gomimon, the whole kit and caboodle here as we prepare for our main event fighto, the top of the ticket, the big show itself, Dr. Cube versus steam-powered tentacle boulder for the Kaiju Grand Championship. And I don't know how you managed to keep control of this. There's so much going on in this final fighto.
Look, I've seen those two go to battle many, many times before, but never like this. Never like this. For the grand champion of Kaiju Big Battle, Boulder was on his game. Dr. Cube was on his game. All the people who run outside to help Achieve were on their game.
My God.
And you know what? Boulder had something up his sleeve.
Boulder did have something up his sleeve, absolutely, as both Power Ranger and Burger Bear made their way out to help their friend, to help their fellow Kaiju hero against all odds, against the wave of Dr. Cube's posse swarming the ring. Chaos ensued, the kind of chaos you could only expect at RPM Fest and a Kaiju Big Battle show. However, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, it is heartbreaking. I stand here shaking legs and all, barely able to stand on my own 2 feet, as I have to say, Dr. Cube getting the pin, getting the match, and becoming Kaiju Grand Champion.
You know what this means now that Dr. Cube's the Grand Champion?
Well,
He's gonna be the one who takes on Unicorn Party at our very special secret underground show in Paducah, North Dakota.
Paducah, North Dakota, guys, if you are in Paducah, keep on the lookout there, as it will be Dr. Cube versus Unicorn Party for the Grand Champion. Can Unicorn Party win the belt back? Can Unicorn Party take on what Steam Power Tentacle Boulder lost and bring the Kaiju Grand Champion home?
But this has even more ramifications, because the winner of that match in North Dakota is going to be defending the Kaiju Big Battle Grand Championship in our very first match in our debut in Japan.
Shin-Kiba first ring, we will be there in Japan, in the flesh, overseas, flying across. Have you ever seen a boulder? Have you ever seen a unicorn? Have you ever seen a bunny fly? Well, they are flying and making their way to Japan. Stay tuned to our socials, stay tuned to our YouTube, and stay tuned to Kaiju Big Battle. On behalf of Dundee, I'm Vinny Deluxe. Thank you for watching, and remember, monsters are real and danger can happen.